Well, look here. Guess who's number one in the Nielsen ratings again?
Play 97.7.
We have got JT the Chief Greenfield, America's one-armed drummer. Good morning. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are you? Thank you for having me on.
I'm glad you're here, man. I guarantee you I've been kind of surfing your stuff out here because I really didn't know a whole lot about you. But, man, you don't only just play the drums, you play the keys, too.
Absolutely. That's what I do. Drums with my feet, keyboard with my one hand.
Okay, well, now tell us this. Now, a lot of folks don't know this. Just go to incahootsnashville.com. You can get up with, you can follow JT, the Chief Greenfield, see what he's got going on. Also, we're live on YouTube, so you can go to the Morning Dish with Stephen Phillips and watch and check him out. But anyway, how did we end up with one arm, dude?
Well, that is the elephant in the room. Back in 2015, I was involved in a horrendous head-on crash, left me dead on the scene. Spent a long time in a coma. I had 19 broken bones, and the airbag did all of this. I cover it up because it's kind of ugly. It looks like this and scares the little kids. And I'm in a wheelchair. I really don't need it. I'm just lazy.
No, I'm with you on that. We're talking about scaring the little kids. Packy does that, and he's perfectly normal, man. But I mean, he just walks in the room.
Perfectly normal.
Yeah, he just freak out. They're like, "Oh my God, there's Packy." Well, that's so you died. You actually was dead.
Yes, sir. Yeah, 8 of my ribs were broken and actually went through my lungs. It's a double hemothorax, they call it.
Wow. So how long did it take you to recuperate? I mean, of course, you're really not, but I mean, how long did it get before you could get around? And
a little over 2 years.
Wow.
And then I decided I wanted to get back into playing music. At the time this happened, I was sitting down playing drums with my feet and bass guitar simultaneously, excuse me. So it was no big move, but I didn't know anything about playing the keyboard, but I had to do something.
Well, there's a lot of folks though, man. That's very impressive. A lot of folks get some kind of something going on with them, and they just give up. They just quit. And I'll have to say, man, getting out there and getting at it, and with the disability you got, man, that's very impressive.
You're very inspirational.
No doubt.
Well, thank you for that. That is the whole goal. And I have a TV show, a local TV show here in Nashville called the Nashville Power Half Hour.
Right.
And within that show, I have a segment called the Inspiration Nation segment, where I feature other disabled people. And I just partnered with the Coalition for Disabled Musicians.
Right.
And we will be featuring other disabled musicians on the show.
Well, now, when you say disabled, do they have to be actually disabled? Because I know I've had a few people play in my band that was disabled, but they were, they had all their arms and legs, but they were terrible. They were. They definitely had a disability.
I've heard your band. I checked it out last night. You guys rock, man. That's great.
Yeah, we have.
Well, when I say disabled, well, we don't want to get into all that, but there are some fantastic disabled musicians. Of course, when I got out of the hospital, my main inspiration, of course, was Rick Allen from Def Leppard being a one-armed drummer.
Yeah, I mean and they actually, now tell me this, you probably know more about this. The Def Leppard not wait for him to get back before they started their tour?
From what I understand, he came to them. A company called Pentec developed some specialized triggers for him, and that allowed him to go to them and say, "Look what I can do."
Right. Because
nobody believed he'd be able to get back into the groove of what he was doing. But of course, not only has he done it, he's done a great job. I hope someday to meet him. I personally think it would be a great promotion to have two one-armed drummers have a drum battle on national TV for charity, for this charity, the Coalition for Disabled Musicians.
So now how many, as far as, you think about disabled musicians, that can be guitar players or the whole nine, you've got from all different disabilities that are with you or what?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I mean, like their disabilities. You have this for like every week. You have this thing. Everybody's got a different disability. I mean, do they play guitars or keys and all different instruments, or is this drums
Yes,
only?
they do, and they do have different disabilities. But a lot of what the charity does is rearrange instruments so that people with disabilities can play them. For instance, I have 7 pedals that I play with my feet
Right.
and play all the drum parts with my feet, of course, while I play the keyboard. But as far as I know, and I've done a little bit of research, I'm the only one that plays drums and keyboard simultaneously, especially with a disability. But listen to me talking about myself. You talk about me for a while.
Hey, I think you're doing good, folks. We're listening to y'all talking to JT, the Chief Greenfield. Go to incahootsnashville.com. You can check out all the stuff he's got going on. So anyway, now that you obviously you played the drums before you got in your wreck. So how did you? I mean, is this the way you play with your drums with your keys or your feet? Is that something you designed, or is that something that you could actually buy from a company?
It's something I designed, and it's not only the fact of where the pedals are. It's, for instance, when you're playing drums with 2 hands and you hit a cymbal crash, you also hit the kick drum at the same time.
Right.
Well, now I have to cover 2 pedals simultaneously, and I'm in a walking boot. I will be in a walking boot for the next 50 years. Right. You're looking at me like 50 years. Wait a minute. This guy's going to live to be 170.
Hey, I'm with you, man. I'm there, baby.
But so that's the thing is luckily I have some great electronics.
Right.
My drum tech has set me up with some amazing controllers. So my drums not only sound authentic, but when I need a wood block or a cross stick, for a country tune, it's right there. I can change that pedal. And like I say, I play 7 of them. So I have a lot of variations.
Well, now, do you have cowbells?
Of course.
Okay, we need more cowbells.
You never have enough cowbells.
We do a cover of Don't Fear the Reaper.
Right.
And not only do we have the cowbell, but we loop the cowbell.
Mm-hmm. You got to have the cowbell, man. You're not a drummer if you ain't got a cowbell. That's what I say.
And Steven's band, they took the cowbell away from him.
Yeah, I love cowbells. Ain't no doubt. So now on this team, but now you do a lot of course, y'all actually are, you've got a touring band, right?
Absolutely. I am just like you. I surround myself with beautiful, talented people, and I've got Luther Lewis.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that so much. That was so kind to you.
I can go with the talented
Jump in there
part.
anytime, okay? Just jump,
It's easy on the beautiful part.
Don't let them hold you back. But I've got Nashville icon Luther Lewis. We call him the musical dictionary.
Right.
He's never been fooled. We've never not been able to do a request.
Really?
And we have Don Ritchie,
Right.
Don Marie Ritchie. Absolutely gorgeous. Plays the bass like you won't believe. Sings like a bird. And the only downer of that is when we're playing out live, of course, all the guys in the clubs are right up next to the stage, just drooling over Don. And I have to inform them, don't get your hopes up because Dawn thinks I'm sexy.
Oh, okay. Well, I can definitely
But she
say
hasn't really said that, but
yeah, it's
she
there.
leaves little hints. Like every time I go by her, she goes, "What an ant." So
basically, her disability is her sight.
Yeah, she's blind.
I know how to meet people. I know what she's trying to say.
No, man, no doubt. She's definitely the best looking one in the band, no doubt. So, what kind of now do you do? Y'all do mainly rock and roll, or what kind of stuff do y'all play?
We do everything from Merle to AC/DC.
Oh, wow.
And we do a lot of covers, of course, but we also do some originals. But what's great about our show is, and I call it a show because we don't just get up and play. We have a show. We have a magic act
right
in the show. And while, I'll give it away, but while we're doing the magic act, Luther is behind the curtain changing into his full Elvis costume.
Oh, my Lord. We got Elvis in there, too.
And he comes flying out, and not only do we do the songs, but as I'm playing keyboard and drums, I get to cover the horn parts.
Right. There you go. So you're doing that, too.
It's so, I just love it. We work, at least 4 or 5 weekends 6 weekends a month. No, that doesn't work out. But
It does down here, according to my figures. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So let me ask you
There's
this
three
question.
kind of people that are good at math.
Are you an Elvis fan or are you a Beatles fan? You can't be
Are you
both.
kidding? I am an Elvis fan. I grew up on Ronnie Tutt.
Right?
Okay, Elvis' drummer went back in the 70s when all my friends were listening to all that metal and hard rock. I was listening to Ronnie Tutt. And even when I was in high school, I was in an Elvis cover band playing drums. So it was easy to get out and make my living early in the music business.
So you're more of an Elvis fan than you are a Beatles fan.
Absolutely.
See, that's the thing.
Not that I don't like the Beatles. I mean, them guys, they're pretty good.
Yeah, they were okay.
I'm with you, man. That's the funny thing about it, though. Elvis fans are Elvis fans and Beatles fans are Beatles fans, but they don't like each other. And I don't know why that is, but I'm just like you. I'm not a big Beatles fan at all. I think they runt. That's a Southern term for what is a Southern runt? You're a Yankee. What
Worked.
Runt. They messed it up. They messed up rock and roll. I really think they did.
Interesting. Can't we all just get along?
Not when it comes to music. No, sir.
One of the things that I've got to mention here, I said before you're an inspiration, but one of the things that I realize now after talking to you just in a brief period of time is you are so passionate about what you do. And I think that's the key to anybody who's going to be successful. And sir, you are not only an inspiration, but you are a passionate individual. You got to love that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. There's nothing else I would rather do. And the only bad thing about it is I don't get to do it 24/7. Sometimes I got to sleep.
Yeah, I know how that is.
That's good.
Now, you actually got a thing to where you offer for like handicapped musicians or somebody that's handicapped or wants to get involved in this. Don't you have something that you've got that you offer these people that they can contact you and maybe get along?
Well, they can, of course, go to incahootsnashville.com or incahootsnashville@gmail.com. They can reach out to me and we'll figure out what their needs are. And between what we do and what the Coalition for Disabled Musicians does, we'll be able to help them somehow get something put together and get them back into playing music, even if it's just playing with one finger on a keyboard. They're playing, they're making music.
And I didn't know there was what's it, disabled music?
It's the Coalition for Disabled Musicians.
Now, is this your thing or is this something that you're...
No, it's a charity that my charity has partnered with. I also have a ministry. It's called In Cahoots with Jesus.
Okay.
Ministries.com.
All right. Well, tell us about that a little bit. I want to know about that.
Yeah, by all means. We've been around a couple of years, and basically what we do is promote charity events for other charities.
Right.
And so we do concerts and things like that. And we recently partnered with the Coalition for Disabled Musicians. And we're just trying to get people able to participate in music. You know, the mindset is the first thing. I'm crippled, I'm disabled, I can't do it. Well, go to my website.
Right.
And tell me I can't do it.
I mean, I ain't kidding you. I went and watched you rock and roll. There's no doubt. And it's amazing to me because you can actually see the pedals you've got that you're working with your feet. And after a gig, you'd have to be completely slapped out. Are you not?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. But it's one of those things. If it was easy, everybody'd do it, But I love it so much. You can't stop me from doing it.
Right.
And, I just can't do it enough that, someday, hopefully I'll be saying, I'm tired. I don't want to play today.
I don't believe it's ever going to happen. I knew Richie Albright a little bit, and, and he played right up to the end. And I love it, man.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm very inspired by you, and one of the things, I'm not sure if you're aware of it or not, I am known on this radio station as a world-renowned dog trainer.
Yeah.
Well, we actually have a nonprofit that we do. We train service dogs to work with people with disabilities. So I'm going to get onto your website, and what I want to do is offer our services to some of the people that you may run across that might be able to, because it's your passion that gets infectious into people like me that do what I do. And, when I listen to Steve, and he's not real passionate about a whole lot of stuff, but when he talks about music, it's hard to hold the boy down, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And you guys are infectious and in that passion, and I want to offer what we have, so I'm going to make sure you get information on our nonprofit that works with people with disabilities and see if we can't work hand in hand here.
They're not infectious, man. They're disabled.
I think it's getting time to get to a break here before we lose a guest.
They got some kind of disease or something.
Radio show.
Oh, man. Anyway, hey, man, we appreciate you joining in. And need to keep up with this, y'all. No doubt about it. Go to incahootsnashville.com. And then what's the other thing with the In Cahoots with Jesus?
In Cahoots with Jesus Ministries.
Right. And keep up.
.com.
Well, I appreciate that. I guarantee it. And I hope Packy's listening because he needs some Jesus right now. So. Anyway, man, we appreciate you very much, man. Thank you for tuning in this morning.
It's great.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you very much. We got to get to a short break. And like I said, we get you back on. I don't see what's going on. I'm going to come up to Nashville and you can buy me supper and we'll sit and talk.
Absolutely.
Did you hear that? All right, man, it's on.
He's never watched you eat.
Nashville hot chicken, baby.
There you go. All right, man, you take care. Appreciate you.
Happy New Year, bud.
God bless.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.